Just to let you know, your sound and picture are not in sync.
Oh, huh. I've been feeling a little out of sync this morning. Ha. Wonder what is it still the same?
Yeah, slightly, and it's like the sound, strangely enough, happens slightly before the picture.
I've always spoken before I've thought things through. It said, let me try. Somebody try changing
Now,
that.
right now, see right there, it almost looked like I was hearing voice from a different broadcast because it was so much ahead.
Maybe that's the nature of myself.
Could be.
Let me try something. Huh. Wonder why that would be. I'm gonna. It's the Chinese communists. I'm sure. No, it's the Republic. No, it's the It's got to be someone. Hang on, please. Aha. All right. I bet that's better now.
Yeah, that's slightly off, but not nearly as much.
Good. Well, I'm less off.
Well, that's debatable.
Yeah, it's progress. Well, it is. Good morning, everyone. It is Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday. Friday, July the 10th. I'm glad of that. I'm Robert Beatty. I'm sitting here in my dining room in Beaverton, Oregon. This is a broadcast of the Portland Insight Meditation Community, PIMC. You can find our website at portlandinsight.org. And I highly recommend you do that because there's a ton of wonderful information. There's actually 400 or more audio talks of myself from 10 or 12, 15 years ago. I tried to have them deleted, and I had a couple of people saying, no, they're the history. I listened to one. It was very embarrassing. So I encourage you not to go not to go there. Anyway, it's morning. Time to meditate. It's time to meditate. Thank goodness. I actually have had quite a lot of meditation already this morning. I was up early, and I went to bed really early and woke up early. And it's nice to come to the broadcast having had time to sit already. So, once again, from Lao Tzu, China, around the time of the Buddha. Number 30 from the Hua Hu Ching. Words can never convey the beauty of a tree. To understand it, you must see it with your own eyes. Language cannot capture the melody of a song. To understand that, you must hear it with your own ears. So it is with the Dharma. The only way to understand it is to directly experience it. The subtle truth of the universe is unsayable and unthinkable. Therefore, the highest teachings are wordless. My own words are not the medicine, but a prescription, not the destination, but a map to help you reach it. When you get there, quiet your mind and close your mouth. Don't analyze the Dharma. Strive instead to live it silently, undividedly, with your whole harmonious being. And now I'll use the original word, the Tao. Words can never convey the beauty of a tree. To understand it, you must see it with your own eyes. Language cannot capture the melody of a song. To understand that, you must hear it with your own ears. So it is with the Tao. The only way to understand it is to directly experience it. The subtle truth of the universe is unsayable and unthinkable. Therefore, the highest teachings are wordless. My own words are not the medicine, but a prescription, not the destination, but a map to help you reach it. When you get there, quiet your mind and close your mouth. Don't analyze the Tao. Strive instead to live it silently, undividedly, with your whole harmonious being. With this line, words can never convey the beauty of a tree. To understand it, you must see it with your own eyes. I remembered a time I think I was a senior in high school. I was visiting a friend in Ottawa, in Canada, and it was raining. It was autumn. And the beauty outside my window was stunning. The street light and the lights and the car lights and the leaves. And I was trying to write a poem about it. I was writing a poem about it. And I had a great insight, but it also led to a huge sadness for me, which was there was absolutely no way to ever write a poem that would give another person the experience that I was having, the multi-dimensional sensory experience of that. A poem is always, at best, a faint hint at it. And it was an insight into the nature of words and language being not the experience. So, doesn't mean poems aren't great, but they're not the experience. So let us experience this present moment. Let us experience it exactly as it is. Hearing sounds come into being and then disappear. What shall I take refuge in today, in this moment? Surely not progress against the coronavirus. Isn't that wild what's happening? Begin to start to get a little complacent, thinking, oh boy, we're going to get this fixed up. And we humans can't seem to get it together, at least in this country. So we face uncertainty. We face change, anicca. We certainly face dukkha. I take refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya. I take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and love. Namo Dharmaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Dharmaya. I take refuge in the Sangha, the community of mindful harmony. Namo Sanghaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Sanghaya. Refuge. And as humans have done now for thousands of years. Of course, on the planetary scale, it's nothing. But for us, it's a long time. Maybe 120 generations since the time of the Buddha. Teacher to student transmission of these beautiful teachings. But of course, the teachings are not the territory. The territory is the experience of the body that sits here. Notice how it sits here, how it touches the chair. We can somewhat intentionally put aside the ho-hum, it's another day, paying attention to the body. Instead, adopt an attitude of, whoa, this thing's alive. This body's alive. Notice the life in the feet and the toes and the legs. Meet them with bare attention, not interpreted, not an image. This training of mind that is Satipatthana Vipassana is not about imagination. In a certain way, it's the opposite of imagination. Notice the aliveness in your hands. Fingers, thumbs, in your face. And of course, there is no such thing as a face. In your direct experience inwardly, is there? It's not a face, it's sensations. And then there's the old friend, the breath. Resting in the breath as you would in a hammock. Noticing how it begins, it has its lifetime, and then it vanishes. There are, of course, moments when there isn't sensation from breathing. In those moments, we can simply be aware of the hands, if you'd like, or the fact that there is a body sitting here. Or simply to abide in the sense of presence, not waiting, but abiding. And then we get to observe how the breath is birthed again. Each breath at first doesn't exist. And then it's born. It comes into being. It lives its lifetime and then declines and then vanishes. What a relief to let life live itself. When we waken in the morning, until we look outside, we don't know what the weather will be today. We may have looked at some prediction, but we don't really know till we actually experience it. The same is true with our inner weather. Oftentimes there is mood. We say, I woke up in a mood. We use the stability granted by the concentration with the breath and the development of mindfulness to become very curious explorers of what is, which includes the mood. Or maybe there's worry or wanting, dissatisfaction with now and wanting something. Maybe there's resistance, disliking, restlessness, sloth and torpor. Sleepy dullness, doubt. Or emotions. Fear, jealousy, loneliness, hopelessness, joy, delight. we practice embracing them all as they arise in order to set ourselves free. There's a short term from Jesus that I find helpful, which is that the task is to be in the world, but not of it. So we're not pushing anything away, but we're also not making an identity out of anything. And all of this rests in this simplicity of being here now, paying very close, intimate,
Robert, you're muted.
paying close attention. Can you hear me now? Yes? It's fine. So paying a close attention to whatever happens. Resting in the breath as the home base, the place of resetting, of settling. In this moment now, life is like this, exactly like this. bringing to our practice the kindest, most loving, most compassionate energy that we can. I aspire to love and accept myself exactly as I am in this moment. Any experience that's happening, from profound self-love and acceptance to self-hatred, to anxiety, to fear, it's all the weather. It all simply is. To allow it to exist as it is, to resist less and less, is freedom itself. Any effort to get rid of is tension, violence. I'm going to finish our meditation this morning with a short teaching from the Dalai Lama. So please just let these words flow through, over, within. A group recently spent days visiting with the Dalai Lama, focusing on what they believe the 5 most important questions to be considered moving into the new millennium. The 5 questions were: how do we address the widening gap between the rich and the poor? How do we protect the earth? How do we educate our children? How do we help Tibet and other oppressed countries and peoples of the world? How do we bring spirituality, a deep caring for one another through all disciplines of life? The Dalai Lama said all the questions fall under the last one. If we have true compassion in our hearts, our children will be educated wisely. We will care for the earth. Those who have not will be cared for. The group asked the Dalai Lama, do you think loving on the planet is increasing or staying the same? His response: my experience leads me to believe that love is increasing. He then shared a simple practice that will increase loving and compassion in the world. He asked everyone in the group to share it with as many people as they could. The practice: spend 5 minutes at the beginning of each day remembering we all want the same things, to be happy and to be loved, and we are all connected to one another. Spend 5 minutes breathing in, cherishing yourself, and breathing out, cherishing others. If you think about people you have difficulty cherishing, extend your cherishing to them anyway. During the day, extend that attitude to everyone you meet. Practice cherishing the simplest person, clerks, attendants, etc., as well as the, quote, important people in your life. Cherish the people you love and the people you dislike. Continue this practice no matter what happens or what anyone does to you. These thoughts are very simple, inspiring, and helpful. The practice of cherishing can be taken very deep if done wordlessly. Allow yourself to feel the love and appreciation that already exists in your heart. Let us show our intent to be compassion bringers and peacemakers by joining in this ritual every day. Breathing in, knowing that what I want, everyone wants, to be loved, to be safe, to be cherished. I hold myself in sweet compassion. Breathing out, may all beings hold themselves in sweet compassion. Imagining going through the world with a remembrance. Number one, to remember presence, breathing in, breathing out, driving, typing. And then practicing, seeing someone. This person longs to be happy. May they be so. This person longs to be free from pain and suffering. May they be so. So we start with this one here at the center of the universe, breathing in. Maybe allow a little smile to come to the corner of the mouth. Imperceptible even, just a little smile. Wish yourself well. And on the out-breath, wish everyone well. And please now, notice how alive your body is. Such a trip being in the body. Breathing in, breathing out, and all those sensations, warm, cold, tingling, vibrating, pleasure, pain. And bringing now awareness into the eyes and do our usual noticing of them. Let them move around a little bit in their beautiful, smooth sockets. And then observing the intention to open and then letting them open. Takes effort, letting the eyes open. And in this instance, let's let them open and have the eyes of blessing. These little postage stamp doorways into other people's lives. There where you experience yourself to be. And notice from where the experience arises in you. It's not in your eyes, it's in the mystery of awareness. I think I want to say one more simple thing before opening to you. And I was listening to the radio this morning a little bit, and they were talking about face masks. And I thought of it as it's a visible compassion practice. I wear my mask because what happens to you is of great importance to me. And it's a drag. They're hot and they leak and they fog the glasses and there's all that stuff. But why would I not do that? Knowing that it can protect you if I happen to be carrying it. And it can also, incidentally, to some degree, protect me. But the face masks are signs of love and compassion. And some people are construing it as the government forcing me to do this and that. But how we construe it is of great importance to us. And so every time you put on your face mask, you might make it part of your compassion practice. And then everyone you meet, recognize, they're doing compassion practice too. They're taking care of themselves, but they're also they're taking care of you or me, and also our elderly friends and our parents and grandparents. It's such a time of compassion. It's quite remarkable. So I think enough of announcements and so on. We say them again and again. I want to thank you for being here and ask you what's happening. What's happening for you? What is there you'd like to share? I should move aside and let you see this whole print. Isn't it something?
Two hot halves.
Hi, Robert. It's Janet.
Janet, hello.
Oh, yeah. I really appreciate sitting with you. Tim and I are doing it pretty regularly.
Wonderful.
I remember probably 15 years ago, maybe more, sitting somewhere, restaurant, outside, I don't know, next to you, and you leaned over and said, "You need to meditate more."
That was bold.
Well, yeah, but it finally is happening.
Well, good. Makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Very much so. I was wondering, though, if I wanted to talk with you, how do I do that?
We can make an appointment.
Okay, so I should just write to your...
Yeah. Well, now that I know you want to, I'll connect with you this morning.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, I still do a private practice, and I meet with people individually, and it's only people who are meditators, but that's easy to take care of these days. Yeah.
Okay, we're not going to be home for very long, so maybe you mean connect to make an appointment, or?
Why don't I call you right after we sign off?
Perfect.
I've got your number. I've got Tim's number.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Yay.
Yay.
I think I talked about this a couple of months ago when Tim first showed up on the broadcast. Tim used to work for years teaching and counseling at Lane Community College, and the Lane used to, maybe it still does, own the lighthouse at Heceta Head. Yeah. And Tim created retreats there that the students came to, and I think it was the first one. I had this super brilliant idea that we would take no lights, and that we would hold hands in a line, and we would follow this torturous trail to the beach in total blackness. Oh dear! And it was about, I don't know, about 10 minutes into it, I realized, oh my God, this was not a brilliant idea. What if someone falls? Oh dear. And it's a long ways. It's probably 100 yards down. It's a cliff. Well, it's not a dangerous cliff that you're going to fall off it, but there were tree roots and rocks. But when we got to the beach, it was really beautiful to be in blackness. But I always think of that when I see you, Tim. It's like, oh man, the risk management people at the school would not have been happy with that one. Here. We were very mindful, though. Terror.
Those were very special times.
They were.
Lane had it on a long-term lease from the Forest Service.
Uh-huh.
It's now a B&B.
Oh,
We got a little tour of it. It's much nicer inside now.
it was pretty. It was pretty Spartan.
Spartan, yeah, but a very special place. I was very lucky to be able to do a couple dozen weekends over there.
Yeah, a couple of dozen. You sure made a contribution to young people, Tim.
I run into people around town now. Hey, didn't I do the weekend at the coast with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we used to do a quiet, silent, blindfold trust walk,
Uh-huh.
which helped inspire. Yeah.
Thank you. Anybody else? What's happening?
Hello, Robert, and hello, Senga.
Hello.
I wanted to share that I am experiencing a lot of instability in my life. I don't have a regular place to live, and I'm bouncing from place to place.
Ooh.
And I have a lot of help and support. I'm very grateful for all of the very difficult times in my life because it kind of pressures me into the meaningful practices of mindfulness and meditation and grounding. And I always hope in these difficult times that I carry on with these practices during the good times when I don't feel the immediate need as much.
Yeah.
So that is my intention, is to meditate on the good days and not just on the hard days.
A worthy intention, for sure. Looks like you're in a beautiful sunny spot right now. We just lost your audio.
Very sunny and hot and a little humid, which I accept and enjoy.
Remind me your name.
I'm Natalie.
Natalie, that's right. Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you, dear Natalie. Hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you, you as well.
I just had a nice visualization. It came spontaneously. And it was this, that we're all sitting in a circle in the Dharma Hall at PIMC. Side by side, on chairs and on the floor. A single circle. Maybe we have a talking stick. Maybe we don't. But when we fall into silence, it's a circle of us sitting in silence. It's counsel sitting in silence. And in person, it's easier. It's obvious. But it's also true here. When we fall into silence, we're still sitting together. We can still be supported by each other's presence. And there's a welcoming holding in that silence, that we know that if it does come the moment to speak, the speaking will be welcome and held and cherished.
Robert, it's
I heard someone.
I think there were two someones. Why don't you go ahead, whoever that was, and I'll speak after.
KB. Thank you so much, Russ. I just wanted to ask you for some advice, Robert. Today is a day my husband had a son who was born and died on his 7th birthday.
Oh.
And today is the anniversary. He would be 39 years old.
Mm.
And I never feel like I can say the right thing to my husband. You know, I just never know what to say. And I just was wondering if you could help me out.
How about, sweetheart, I never know what to say.
Okay. I always feel tongue-tied, and that is sort of what comes out.
You know, I never know what to say, and I can see that huge loss affects you all these years later, and I wonder what we could do today to help you feel how you are and to support you.
Thank you.
I almost always start, in circumstances where I don't know what to say, I usually say I don't know what to say.
Okay.
I mean,
I'll do that.
I feel sad thinking of that. I mean, it's every
really
it's
sad.
every parent's utter nightmare, right? So
Yes, I know.
it's every one of our nightmares to have a beloved die, and so, what is there to say?
child on his 7th birthday hit by a drunk driver.
So what is there to say? There's nothing can make it better, but you can at least provide company.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks,
Yeah.
Robert.
So, Robert, it's Russell, and I feel a little anxious about saying this, but there's something I would like to ask of the Sangha. I have a relatively minor medical procedure on Monday. It's a colonoscopy, and I've had many over the years and become rather cavalier about them, and this one, because of my age, is probably the last one I'll need to have. And I'm having to do an extreme prep, and I'm finding myself just scared about it.
Huh.
It's really surprising to me how I don't want to do it. So I'm asking for compassion and good thoughts from the Sangha. It's not like KB's describing that level of loss, but it certainly has brought me up kind of short.
Mm. Well, I think that's a wish that's easily granted.
Thank you.
And you know, knowing you as well as I do and knowing me as well as I do, it's not just the anxiety or fear about the colonoscopy. It's all these medical things that one faces more and more as we get older. It's scary.
Well, it is. Thank you to those of you who are sending me chats. That touches my heart. And it is scary. And of course, with COVID, so far they haven't had anybody get infected when they're in there for the procedure. But of course, I hear this so far.
Right.
And then worrying mind takes over.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, at least you have something to meditate with. It's not boring.
Pretty kind there.
I mean, what a drag it would be. A day of placid mind and ease and, shit.
I do enjoy terror.
Right.
Robert,
Yes.
it's Lorraine.
Hello, Marie.
Hi there.
Welcome to my consciousness.
Thank you for letting me in.
A pleasure.
I really liked what you said about what you read on the Dalai Lama's words this morning, and I wanted to be able to read it again, and I was wondering if you were going to post it.
I will post it right now to the listserv. Do you have access to the listserv?
Is that like the connections that
Yeah,
come in?
yeah.
Yep.
You are watching Connections. There it is. All right. It is going to the listserv now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I like that circle that I discovered, that visualization of the circle. It feels really nice. I think it's okay if we don't social distance in imagination. We could just wantonly hold hands. I mean, that's cool.
Good morning, Robert. It's Paula Keeney in Briar, Washington.
Hello.
Hello. I guess the first thing I want to say is thank you so much in meditation for giving pause, for quiet and silence. I know in a guided meditation, that's what it is, guided. But I always appreciate your offering of the silence, so then I can experience whatever it is that I'm to experience.
Great.
So thank you for that. And I just wanted to say that my little granddaughter, Grace, now has to have another surgery to have her little esophagus tethered to probably a rib to keep, not her esophagus, I'm sorry, her trachea, to keep it open so then that she can breathe better.
Whew.
And so that's sort of the follow-up. I'll be be in touch about when that happens. She'll have to leave from Edmonds, Washington to go back to Boston Children's for that. And also my preparations for my business to open a lactation and nutrition consulting business is due to open August 1st. And it is, preparations for that are going very well. So
Yay.
I'm very excited and really using this morning meditation as a bedrock for that. So thank you so very much.
You said
and all the Sangha.
you said a lactation and nutrition consulting business?
Yes.
What a cool thing to do.
Well, thanks. It's something that's been important, and I've studied and practiced for years and years with public health. And now I'm opening a little office 5 minutes from my house, so no more commute.
Fantastic. May it be very successful.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And may it nourish you in the same way that all those little babies might get nourished too.
That's a very sweet thought. Thank you.
Hey Robert and everyone, this is Amber.
Hello, Amber.
Hi. I just wanted to say thank you. Feeling so much gratitude for the Sangha and the teachings that I've received over the past several years. Feeling incredibly grateful for the understanding of impermanence and dukkha and death and illness and all the things that I have learned to take with grace through my practice and my community. And
how wonderful.
I wouldn't be where I am without all of that. So just wanted to say thank you.
Hooray for the Buddha. In that same way of imagining sitting in a circle, I sometimes think of the lineage of teacher to student transmission since the time of the Buddha. Most recently through Ledi Sayadaw to U Ba Khin to Ruth Denison and then to myself and now to all the people that I get to teach. It's such a remarkable thing to have a lineage down through time. That's part of the refuge in Sangha, is refuge in lineage. And it's interesting. I lean much more on my lineage through Ruth than I do on my lineage through my family of origin. I know some people are very interested in genealogy, and I have almost no interest in that. Though I certainly have examined my family of origin and my family of origin issues, and they certainly manifest here, and I get a lot. I mean, obviously, I get a lot down through my parents and grandparents, and but the lineage, which I guess it's taking refuge in the Buddha, isn't it? For the last 35 or 40 years, I've been. It's not by accident that when one joins a monastery or in some spiritual traditions otherwise, that one gets a new name. That there is a naming of oneself in one's spiritual lineage, which is a much bigger lineage than one's family of origin. It doesn't in any way demean the family of origin, but it says, wait, there's another track. There's another track that I'm committing to here, which is the track of awakening, which is a going beyond all identifications with family and personality and so on. Funny, there was a moment there at the beginning of that I was thinking, I will be struck down if I say this. It's, heresy. Well, it's about 8:05. Anybody else sitting with anything you'd like to share? Hang on, I got a text here from Paige. Oh. Paige and Adrian in Vancouver, Dharma teachers of this lineage who are tuning in this morning. Hello, I guess you're probably on Facebook. So, anybody else sitting with something? Don't skimp if you've got something to share.
Hi, Robert. It's Tima.
Hello, Tima.
Would you speak to restlessness? I find that is just what's up these days in this time of constriction. And, I have my practice, my sitting practice where I observe the restlessness and work with that. But,
Right.
If you have a few sitting practices a day and the restlessness, do you just move? I mean, when do you know to just go physical?
Ruth Dennison actually spoke to this in a very beautiful way on several occasions. The reason she had people start moving in meditation was she said they were already moving. Why not have them do it mindfully? So when you're really restless, why not get up and be restless? Why not get up and dance? Put on some music and dance and use that energy and be mindful of it. There's nothing wrong with restlessness. We're not trying to get rid of that. It's unpleasant, but it's also a lot of energy in it. So why not get up and use it? Or if you're in the middle of sitting and you're all restless and so on, then really just let yourself get restless on your chair. Just be restlessness. Jiggle around and, it's like... and also when the mind is restless, sometimes just let it be restless. It's unpleasant, but there's and notice if you can observe the disliking of it and I should get rid of this, as opposed to.
Well, I just thank you for the permission to move, because I have been holding myself very rigid against the restlessness.
Well, there's a place for that and a time. But experiment. You've done a lot of containment and holding it and suffering it consciously like that, and then it's no different. I just remembered many years ago when I first knew Ruth, the Mahasi Sayadaw, a very famous teacher from a great master from Burma, was visiting Ruth's place, and. She went in. I was with her, following her, and she went in the kitchen, and everyone was moving very slowly, and she kind of lost it in a way that she was so good at. And she said, "Wait, watch me. You don't have to move slowly to be mindful." And she became like a white tornado around the kitchen. She said, "That's mindfulness when you're late." So there's no reason we can't be mindful and energetic and restless and. But we get very caught in a notion that to be mindful means to be. And I've met some very dead Buddhists that they're containing their energy and everything has to always be quiet and people speak with a nice voice that has no right. It's drives me crazy actually.
Thank you so much for saying that.
Yeah. Your task is to be the best Tima you can be. And that includes her restlessness and her calmness but to be all of it. Have a lovely restless day.
I will.
Lovely. Well, I need to go. Sorry to leave you. It's very nice being here. I will not see you tomorrow. It's my non-teaching, my non-Zoom day. I do hope you will have a lovely day. Maybe have a restless meditation tomorrow morning and jiggle around or something. And I will look forward to gathering with you if you come on Sunday morning at 10. And otherwise, Monday morning once again. Thank you so much for coming and gracing my dining room in this case with your presence. It's I feel buoyed up by our time together today here. Feel more energetic and more spacious. So let's unmute us and go to. Are you ready? Do we have any kids? Oh well, we're all kids. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Have a lovely day, dear friends. Remember, let's use our masks as signs of compassion.
Yeah.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye. You.
Oh, I forgot. Goodbye, dear friends on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for coming.